against the UFC champion. You know, I mean, imagine that promotion for the first time ever, to have that. And then if you want to make history with Brock, then you've got the opportunity to do it. You know, the first two, you know, the guy to hold both belts at the same time. You know he holds that record for, you know, UFC and WWE champion in the past, but now there's another one to be made here. So I do feel like WWE, if they play their cards right, they could have the best of both worlds here, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, and also if he wins, you know, like I said, in January, and then WrestleMania's in April, he can easily walk into any title picture as the challenger.
Yeah, and you know, it would be nice as well if it wasn't, you know, if we didn't have to think, oh, it's got to be for the Universal. Wouldn't it be great if it was for, like, you know, up against Joe or something, you know, by the time, or somebody else who's made on SmackDown, you know, so it'd be nice to have that variety, but we'll see what happens by that point, because obviously a long way off. We don't know what's going to happen. Matt, how shocked would you be if Brock Lesnar wins at SummerSlam? I know we've said this time and time again, and I laid pretty much everything on it that he wouldn't win at WrestleMania, but if he wins this, is this more, what has this whole thing been if he wins again?
You know, it would make me wonder, like, what WWE think, like, what goes through their mind, because did they like the reaction they got at WrestleMania? Because if they did it again, you know, at SummerSlam, I would be just as shocked all over again, because if Roman loses that is, well, we said it before, we thought it was all or nothing, that was it for him, but if he loses this time, then we know he can't beat Brock, you know, you know that's all been a waste of time, and then you're looking at other people, you're thinking, wonder where Lashley will get his shot.
Oh, God. Yeah, where's he as well? Yeah, just got that image again in my head of that interview. It's the only thing he's well known for me this year, I'll tell you that much. Interesting. Matt, quick question. Does this go on at the end, or do you think they're going to be they play safe and put this on in the middle, or, you know, not right at the end of the show?
Oh no, I feel like this is classic WWE. They're going to put this on at the end,
right?
Which is probably a mistake.
Brave.
If I was them, I would put this on second to last. I mean, I'd have this as sort of the unofficial main event, but then, you know, the fans are going to really play about in this match and just ruin it for the retrospectives. You know, people going back on this will look at it and go, "Cool, what was up with the fans those nights?" So, you know, I'd have that, but then I'd also have one more match afterwards, which would be the AJ Styles Samoa Joe one, because depending on how the fans reacted to that, they could then leave the fans with some serious wrestling until the end of the night, which I think they should really.
Or those saying that if it's not the right result people want, then whoever follows that match has got a disaster on their hands as well. But you know where I've put this match, Matt? The only safe bet that you can guarantee a bit of a pop and that it probably go down all right. It's probably the first match of the night, quite frankly. And just for that shock element of getting it, that would be the only way that ever gets a nice reaction. But I really got a feeling these New York fans, they know what they're going to get. And I don't know. I think it's going to be an interesting one. The reaction of some of these matches this night is going to be interesting. We'll see how that all works.
Well, it will be very interesting. And you know, there's always the X factor, isn't there? I mean, they could sit back. Vince will be there, won't he? And then he can see how the fans are reacting. And at any point in time, just like we saw with Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, you can send that guy out that briefcase.
Yeah, maybe he'll do the same. So, there we go, folks. That's for SummerSlam anyway. This Sunday coming up. So, lots to talk about. We'll be doing a full review, as per usual, after that one as well. Join myself and Matt for that. We'll be back to do that. Now, for anybody that doesn't know, we've sent out our NXT TakeOver retrospective when myself and Matt went there a few years back to the first ever takeover. That is now available. You can go and check that out as part of our build up towards this Sunday's SummerSlam. It's already available, so at any time you want to play along and hit up the network, listen to us in the background, feel free to. Let's go through some other wrestling news now then, Matt, shall we? Because Obviously, lots of stuff going on now. Lots and lots of emails again, and I guess it's just because we're based in the UK. But a lot of people have been sending in a lot of things about World of Sport Wrestling, Matt. Have you been watching any more of them since the first episode? Let me first ask.
Well, I feel like it's my duty as a British fan to actually put my time into this and watch it, no matter how difficult it might be.
Yes, and those difficulties, Matt, is what I was going to talk about, because lots of listeners at the moment, I think this is a general consensus, and this is how I feel as well, is that the talent is the talent, they're amazing talent, but it's just the way it's delivered, I guess, is what I've got the angst to grind here a bit, because I just don't like the delivery of it. It was interesting because I was listening to a sort of big national radio sports station this week, and they're not wrestling fans by any means, but it was interesting to see what the normal viewer would have actually thought of this. And it is a bit, I think even they kind of realise this isn't WWE, it's the sort of, entertainment Saturday night ITV here. And I think that's the category. It's got a very gladiators type feel to it, Matt, hasn't it? Where it's more about that than it is the actual wrestling, it's more about the show as opposed to what we're getting in. And I know they are doing things where, wait and see what you see next week and all the rest of it. But it's just very different. For me, it's not my taste, but, I can see it working for kids and, if you're at home, maybe this is top quality stuff. But for me, as a wrestling fan, and I'm talking just as a wrestling fan, not really my cup of tea in the presentation of it all. What about you, Matt? Has it grown on you at all since, or are you still at the same as where we were last time?
For me, it's very 50-50. I mean, sometimes people come out and they have their match and it just clicks and it works. Mm-hmm. But then other times I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, so a lot of these wrestlers have been on the British independent circuit for a long time, but when we go to our local town events and they turn up, they do a lot of pantomime kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they overreacting, and it's very dramatized.
He's behind you.
And I feel like some of these wrestlers are going out there with that kind of mindset, and it's just not really what I suppose more serious wrestling fans want to see. So it has its place, but I don't think its place is on the actual and in front of an audience this large, like millions. I don't think they should actually be out there acting that way. It's not exactly how you would promote yourself. If you was to go for a WWE tryout, you would be doing that stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I agree there. So, not overly enthralled with that, but like I say, it's different. It's good for the UK guys that are there. Obviously, they're getting good exposure here, but not my taste. Let's put it that way for me. Other news as well, of course, Cain Velasquez. He's been spotted many a times now down at WWE Developmental. It's kind of surprising that obviously he wants to get involved. He said he was a bit of a fanboy, and he thinks to himself, Matt, Cain Velasquez, former UFC champion, he was the guy that knocked Brock Lesnar off his perch a long while ago. He's Mexican. He's got that huge Mexican following as well. Why are WWE not maybe pushing for this guy a little bit more, Matt? Do you think this might be an announcement that we get sooner rather than later? Do you think on possibly NXT more than WWE at the minute?
Yeah, we saw him down in the audience at NXT.
Yeah.
So he's definitely it's not something they're trying to hide.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty good. And it's also kind of a new generation kind of thing, I guess. Of course, Brock was the pioneer, and then there was Shayna Baszler as well. And so it's not exactly going to be something out of the ordinary now. We're seeing that they come in with this legitimate background, and it's working quite well because the wrestling fans, probably on a whole, are quite up to date and know what's going on in this sort of MMA kind of world, or they know the big names from it. So there's a connection there that these people can come in and kick some ass.
Yeah, well, hopefully WWE utilise that because, like I say, they've been looking for that market for Mexico for a long time. And you're thinking it's on your doorstep now, and he's not exactly a small guy. And if you can see what Cain Velasquez does, it's quite incredible. So, the thing is that his age, all right, you've got to know the WWE ins and outs, but I've seen lesser people than him, like flipping Nathan Jones turn up on your doorstep and the great Khali. So I'm thinking, this might be one of those times where this guy, let's just get him on the main roster. As long as you protect him, he'll be fine. So hopefully they do some good stuff there with him, because I think he's got a big thing. Also, had a lot of emails about this as well, about WWE looking into an alleged past inappropriate actions by Randy Orton, Matt. Don't know if you've read about it. One of the formal writers saying some quite deep accusations about the way Randy Orton was to him and the other writers, fellow colleagues in there. And apparently WWE are looking into this currently. What do you make of that, Matt? Could this be more problems for Randy? And he's always had that in his arsenal, and this background stuff. So is this another one, Matt?
Yeah, he's a kind of a strange character. I wouldn't put anything past him, but it's, I suppose, alleged until there's actually some sort of proof, and all we're hearing is the allegations. So I kind of hope it isn't true, but some of the stuff that he's been accused of, it might be inappropriate to say, but it seems pretty kind of funny if he's going to just do that in public. And I know it's intimidating because the guy is muscular and built, but if he's just going to be as gutsy enough and brazen enough to do that, it's kind of almost comedic.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he's had a lot of issues outside of WWE. Like he's not the guy. I don't think he's WWE's go-to guy, Matt, for media and stuff like that anymore. I think they look at the Miz, they look at John Cena, but Randy maybe not. Let's keep him off and away from that. Perfect heel back in the day would have, he would have got some real genuine heat, but unfortunately in this day and age with the PG rating and stuff, it just doesn't quite work out that well for him, which is unfortunate for his career. That again has been very stop-start, hasn't it, all the way through his long career there. Also, some news now. I actually did get back into some TNA, Matt, after you said they've made some slight improvements, and I've got to say, for the first time in a long time, actually enjoying the product again, Matt. I think because they were doing their own thing all of a sudden. It seems like it is what it is now, Matt. I mean, let's face it. It's not exactly TNA from, what was it, 2006, 2007 time, where they were on Spike TV, getting as big a ratings as SmackDown at the time. I don't think they're ever going to get back to that anytime soon, but I think this is their level now, Matt. I mean, is this what they are now, Matt? As far as you're concerned, is this the best they can hope for now?
Was it Slammiversary they had recently?
Yeah,
and it got a lot of praise.
Yeah.
But even the kind of wrestling they were doing was a little bit, back from mid-90s, late 90s kind of stuff, and it was more shock value and more violence than probably what you see anywhere in WWE and that. So maybe they're trying to find a new niche under that kind of banner, but if it's working for them, then great, because if there is a gap in the market like that, they should totally exploit it. But yeah, definitely the talent they have is shining through as well. People like Pentagon and that, and I mean, they're definitely great signings that they've made, and man, they needed to make some great signings because the WWE definitely poached them of their talent. But I've even heard rumours that Jericho has even been involved in offering some advice to them and that, and I kind of wondered why, but then it actually makes sense, because if you can keep a wrestling company like that going, it's good for all wrestling. I mean, the more wrestling that there is available out there to people, the better, because it definitely needs to hit a broad audience. So if people are into that, then great.